In the bustling heart of New York City, the iconic set of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert buzzed with anticipation as the crew prepared for another electrifying episode. The audience, a vibrant mix of locals and tourists, filled the seats, their chatter echoing through the studio as they awaited the night's special guest, Hollywood superstar Mark Wahlberg. Known for his rugged charm and blockbuster hits like The Departed and Transformers, Wahlberg had been making waves with his latest action-packed thriller, a gritty tale of redemption that had critics and fans alike buzzing with excitement. Stephen Colbert, the quick-witted host with a penchant for blending humor with hard-hitting questions, sat at his desk, flipping through his notes with a mischievous glint in his eye. He had a reputation for pushing boundaries, often steering conversations into unexpected territory, and tonight, he was determined to dig beneath Wahlberg's polished exterior. The stage was set with its signature cityscape backdrop, the lights of Manhattan twinkling through the faux window, casting a warm glow over the scene. The band, led by the ever-charismatic Jon Batista, struck up a lively tune, signaling the start of the show as the cameras rolled and the audience erupted into applause. Colbert bounded onto the stage, his energy infectious as he launched into his opening monologue, a sharp-witted commentary on the day's political headlines that had the crowd roaring with laughter. He transitioned seamlessly into introducing Wahlberg, hyping up the actor's latest project with a playful jab about his penchant for playing tough guys. Wahlberg strode out from backstage, flashing his trademark grin, his navy suit impeccably tailored, a stark contrast to the casual vibe he often exuded in his films. The two men shook hands, the audience cheering as they settled into their respective spots, Colbert behind his desk, Wahlberg in the guest chair, the tension between them palpable yet unspoken. What began as a light-hearted exchange about Wahlberg's new movie quickly took a turn as Colbert, ever the provocateur, veered into more personal territory, asking pointed questions about Wahlberg's past, his controversial statements, and his views on the current state of Hollywood. Wahlberg, caught off guard, shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his smile tightening as he tried to deflect with humor, but Colbert pressed on, his tone sharp yet playful, setting the stage for a confrontation that no one saw coming. As the interview progressed, the atmosphere in the studio grew increasingly charged, the audience hanging on every word as the dynamic between Stephen Colbert and Mark Wahlberg shifted from cordial to contentious. Colbert, known for his ability to balance humor with hard-hitting journalism, leaned forward, his glasses glinting under the studio lights as he posed a question about Wahlberg's recent comments on the influence of streaming platforms in Hollywood. Wahlberg, who had been promoting his new film, a project he'd produced in partnership with a major streaming service, bristled at the implication that he was compromising his artistic integrity for profit. His voice took on a defensive edge as he countered, arguing that the industry was evolving and that streaming platforms offered opportunities for stories that might otherwise go untold. Colbert, sensing an opening, doubled down, pointing out the irony of Wahlberg's stance given his earlier career criticisms of selling out, a reference to the actor's own journey from a streetwise rapper to a Hollywood A-lister. The audience, sensing the rising tension, let out a collective gasp, their murmurs rippling through the studio as Wahlberg's expression darkened. He leaned forward, his hands gripping the arms of his chair, his jaw set as he fired back, accusing Colbert of twisting his words and taking cheap shots for the sake of ratings. The host, unfazed, shot back with a sarcastic quip about Wahlberg's thin skin, a comment that drew a mix of laughter and uneasy murmurs from the crowd. The exchange escalated rapidly, with Wahlberg raising his voice, his Boston accent thickening as he called out Colbert for what he perceived as a personal attack, while Colbert, ever the showman, leaned back with a smirk, egging him on with a raised eyebrow and a well-timed jab. The crew, watching from the sidelines, exchanged nervous glances, sensing that the interview was spiraling out of control, while Jon Batista and the house band played a dramatic riff, amplifying the tension. Wahlberg, now visibly agitated, stood up from his chair, pointing a finger at Colbert as he unleashed a tirade about respect and professionalism, his words echoing through the studio as the audience sat in stunned silence, unsure whether to clap or cringe at the unfolding drama. The confrontation reached its boiling point as Mark Wahlberg, his face flushed with anger, took a step closer to Stephen Colbert's desk, his voice booming as he demanded an apology for what he called a disrespectful ambush. Colbert, maintaining his composure but with a steely edge in his eyes, refused to back down, instead doubling down on his critique by suggesting that Wahlberg's reaction was proof of his inability to handle tough questions, a comment that sent the audience into a frenzy of gasps and whispers. Wahlberg, now pacing the stage, threw his hands up in frustration, his tie askew as he accused Colbert of turning the interview into a circus rather than a legitimate conversation about his work. The host, sensing the need to regain control, attempted to pivot back to a lighter topic, asking Wahlberg about his fitness regimen, a well-known passion of the actor, but the damage was done, and Wahlberg was having none of it. He stopped mid-step, turning sharply to face Colbert, his eyes narrowing as he delivered a scathing remark about the host's ivory tower perspective, a dig at Colbert's privileged background that hit a nerve. The audience, new fully invested in the drama, erupted into a mix of cheers and boos, the reactions fueling the fire as the two men squared off, the city skyline behind them a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding on stage. The crew, realizing the situation was beyond salvaging, signaled to the director, who made the call to cut to a commercial break, the screen fading to black as the house band played an awkward transition tune. During the break, tensions backstage were at an all-time high, with Wahlberg's team rushing to his side, urging him to walk off the set, while Colbert's producers huddled around the host, debating whether to continue the segment. Wahlberg, still fuming, made the decision to leave, storming off the stage with his entourage in tow, his parting words to Colbert a curt promise to never come back. The audience, buzzing with excitement and disbelief, shared their reactions on social media, the hashtag #WahlbergColbert clash trending within minutes as clips of the explosive confrontation spread like wildfire across the internet. In the aftermath of the explosive confrontation, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert became the talk of the entertainment world, with media outlets and fans dissecting every moment of the Mark Wahlberg interview gone wrong. The episode, which aired later that night with the contentious segment intact, drew record-breaking viewership, as audiences tuned in to witness the fallout for themselves. Colbert, ever the professional, addressed the incident in his next monologue, delivering a tongue-in-cheek apology to Wahlberg while defending his approach to the interview, framing it as a necessary push for accountability in an industry often shielded by PR spin. Wahlberg, meanwhile, took to social media to share his side of the story, posting a lengthy statement about the importance of mutual respect in interviews and accusing Colbert of crossing a line with his gotcha tactics. The post garnered thousands of comments, with fans split between those who supported Wahlberg's decision to walk off and those who felt he overreacted to fair questioning. The incident sparked a broader conversation about the role of late-night hosts in holding celebrities accountable, with some praising Colbert's boldness and others criticizing him for alienating a guest. In the weeks that followed, both men moved on with their respective projects, of Wahlberg promoting his film, which saw a surge in ticket sales thanks to the controversy, and Colbert continuing to dominate late-night ratings with his sharp commentary. The clash, however, left a lasting mark on both their legacies, a moment that would be referenced in countless think pieces and entertainment roundups for years to come. For the audience, the drama served as a rare glimpse into the unscripted reality of live television, a reminder that even the most polished productions can unravel in an instant when egos collide under the bright lights of a New York studio.